What up, YouTube? Today we are in a different, I guess, change of scenery. We are in my oldest daughter's room looking at her setup. She uses this for virtual school and, obviously gaming. She plays with me quite a bit. She's in a lot of my montages and all that sort of stuff. You know, her and I play together quite a bit. So this is a Dell. And if you guys watch my videos, you know I really do like Dell. I enjoy a lot of their products. This one included. This is an XPS. It is the latest. Let's see if I can find a model. Either way, 8940. So it's an XPS 8940. I'll have that in the title. Very compact, very small, very powerful computer. I did buy this on Marketplace, brand new, sealed in the box. I paid 700 bucks. I don't know where the guy gets them, but he has them up for sale all the time. And yeah, I think he had it for like $750 or $800. Offered him 700 cash. Had to drive maybe 20 minutes to meet him, and like I said, it was sealed, never been opened. I opened it, just to make sure it was all there, but came mouse, keyboard, just like you would brand new from Dell. Booted it up. Was able to get the warranty activated onto my account, so that was a big plus. I guess some other changes to her setup. She did get a new Fortnite, I guess, racing style chair for Christmas. She uses a Corsair K70 Mark II RGB rapid fire. It's like an MSI mouse that came with one of my laptops. It came with like that and like a MSI backpack. Some Logitech speakers. She has a Razer Siren X mic. And then a HP Omen 25-inch 144 hertz gaming monitor that I have mounted up on her wall, just because she kind of has a small, like kids size desk. So I really needed to get the monitor up off of the desk to kind of make sure she had room for her stuff. Very awesome little computer. Front is really awesome. So you have power button, disk drive, SD card, headphone jack, 3 USB, 3 the super speed ones, and then a USB type C, which is kind of to be expected on I guess a flagship Dell of 2020. I guess it's January 2021, but it's a 2020 model. Still the latest version. The 11th gen stuff was just announced, but has not quite hit shelves yet, and from what I see, it's pretty much fundamentally the same thing. This one right here has a 10th gen i5. I think it's like a 10400. Which people go, oh, it's an i5, it's not an i7, but it's a 6-core 12 thread, which is comparable to like the 8th gen i7. And then 9th gen, you have 8 cores, 8 threads, no hyper threading. So you technically have more, I guess, virtual cores and physical cores combined than you do in the 9th gen i7. But anyways, like I said, great little setup. Over here on the back, we have like headphone, microphone. You have your outputs for DisplayPort HDMI. You have 6 more You have 6 more USB 3 ports. DisplayPort HDMI up there. You have your graphics card, power, Ethernet port. Very simple. The thing I did like about this was she did have an HP, and the HP before this had like Torx to open it. This has normal thumb screws, just like a normal computer would. So very easy to open, very easy to get into. I have done a couple minor things to this. Here, we'll fire it up real quick. Oh, and the disk drive, there it goes. Okay, so some things that I like and do not like. What I do not like about this particular model compared to the last gen XPS. The last gen XPS had the power supply that kind of went over here, and a lot of people complained about that as far as cooling, but it was a standard ATX power supply. This right here is like this long, slim kind of server proprietary style power supply. This one does have the upgraded 500 watt over, I think, like the 300 or 320 or whatever it is. It is platinum rated, which is pretty cool, and it does have PCIe. You have an 8-pin, and then you have an extra 6-pin down here, which is really awesome. One of my biggest complaints was the fact that you cannot change out the fans at all. Otherwise, it throws error codes, and from what I've seen and read, you can't really change any of the settings in the BIOS to just forget about it. So that's kind of a bummer. But it had tons of upgradability. You could put hard drives in the front, hard drive up top. You could put 2 SSDs or 2.5-inch hard disk drives up there, and you have an M.2 slot. So you could really kind of pack this thing full of drives. Really nice thing to see. This particular model has a Wi-Fi 6, which I believe is an upgrade. Single 16 gig stick of RAM. I know it's not dual channel, it's not as fast, whatever, but 16 gigs of DDR4. It is 3000 megahertz, but I don't believe, or it's 3200. I don't believe it runs at 3200. I was kind of surprised by that when I took it out. So I did take the hard drive cage that was right here out, and I did mount a Noctua. I think this is a 80 millimeter or 92 millimeter fan, something like that, here as intake, and it works really well because this whole front here is all like ventilation mesh type design, kind of like a modern look. So plenty of airflow, and this little fan moves like a really good amount of air directly over the graphics card. I only have it in with 2 screws, but it doesn't move. It's very quiet. But there's no actual fan mounting, spot in the front, so you just kind of have to like line up a couple holes and drill some screws in through there. But real easy. So what I did too is I ran it right off the SATA. So it's kind of ghetto. You can buy like a SATA power to fan. I happen to have a SATA to Molex adapter for a water cooling pump. Then I have like just a regular Molex fan cable that come with a lot of different fans and stuff. Kind of, I guess, in the past. I just got a bunch of them. So I'm running like SATA to Molex and then Molex to fan. So this fan actually runs at 100%, but even at 100%, it's very quiet. Some other things I've done is this heatsink for this processor is about twice the thickness of the stock one. It actually came off an HP Omen 30L AMD system, but the HP Omen AMD version uses Intel mounting. So I had to use the same Dell fan, but I swapped on the much thicker just heatsink. So just down here, this heatsink is way thicker. The one that it comes with is like this thin. It just looks like a standard like Intel cooling fan. But like I said, put the big thick one on. It dropped my temperatures on this processor by about 10 degrees Celsius, which made a huge difference. It was running high 80s. I'm barely getting high 70s now, while she's gaming and stuff. So that made a really big difference, which also made an effect on fan noise. So the fans don't ramp up as high because it's not running at such a high temperature anymore. But I couldn't change out the cooler really, because otherwise you throw the air when you change the fan. So I happen to have that, slapped it in there. That is Torx, just like the HP I was talking about before. We had to take the side panel off. So I did have to use Torx to fasten it to the motherboard. 256 gig, small little M.2 SSD, 1 terabyte hard drive, 500 watt power supply. The graphics card is a RTX 2060 6 gig, like the non-super version. Really good gaming performance, for 1080p for her. It plays pretty much everything she needs it to do. Fortnite, max settings, 1080p. She's getting 120 to 140 frames, no problem. She likes to play on, max settings, so this gives her the ability to do that. It does come with a rear 80 millimeter exhaust fan as well, and it is rubber mounted. So it's kind of a slim profile fan, whereas like this is a thick, chunky, kind of more standard size fan. That one right there you can see is a lot thinner. Really doesn't move a lot of air. I mean, it's really nothing compared to that thing is like a hair dryer, and this thing just barely moves a little bit of air. So really nice little setup. I mean, you could technically run 64 gigs of RAM in there. I mean, you probably could go with like a 2070 in here with a 500 watt pretty safely, especially with the efficiency on this power supply, but it'd have to be something really short like this, because even if you took this fan out, I mean, you really don't have enough room up here to run like a full-size graphics card. But like I said, all in all, I bought this, because it's under warranty. It's reliable. I'm not going to be messing with it because all of her school stuff's saved on here. It's compact, you know, she doesn't have a lot of space in here. It's quiet. It now runs a lot cooler with the added, you know, cooling fan, and the heatsink, you know, added in there. Like I said, really easy upgrade. Just mount that. Like I said, that right there comes mounted on the front, which to me seems a little silly because even if you don't have a front intake fan, you want that front to be able to, you know, pull air in, to help, you know, cool some of the components. But really just a solid out of the box, you know, gaming setup, you know, for somebody that just wants like a push button, you know, ready to go, kind of classy looking, not bright RGB fancy, you know, computer. I mean, I could put this underneath a desk and you wouldn't even know it was there. And you could put it on the ground. I mean, there's no vents on the bottom for the power supply or anything like that. Let's see here, I'll show you the bottom of it. It's just flat. There's no vent, so you could put this down on the ground on the carpet, and you don't have to worry about anything overheating. It's not like sucking fresh air into the power supply. The vent for the power supply is in the front. So just a nice little setup, nice little home computer, very modern specs, very easy to upgrade, and just really delivers great performance. You don't need to upgrade the, you know, any of the stuff I did. It's just, I'm a tinkerer. As you guys watch my videos, you know, I pretty much mess with everything. So I went ahead and, you know, I guess bumped the performance up as far as cooling. Doesn't really, you know, translate to better performance, but better temps, you know, in the long run. So good warranty, good service. Dell's always been really good to me as far as, you know, service on their stuff. So until, you know, they do me wrong, you know, I will always recommend their products. I mean, it's not really meant for the custom PC builder. Just build your own computer. But if you're looking for something that you can buy right now, you can find these on eBay for like 900 bucks pretty regularly. And right now with the shortage of, you know, pretty much every computer component known to man right now, it's probably cheaper to buy this than it is to build it right now. The graphics card really runs awesome. Doesn't run that hot, low 70s for temps, which for me I think is really, really good considering my EVGA card runs about the same. But anyways, like I said, this one right here will be sticking in the fleet for a while, just like my new Dell G7 laptop. So if you have any questions, or, you know, you guys have any other comments about how I added the front fan or anything like that, just drop a comment and I'll get back to you. Other than that, you know, welcome to 2021. Stay safe. You know, hopefully we get through this virus this year, but keep gaming, and y'all have a great day.